You ever stare aimlessly at the wall in your chair when you're like, I'm sick? And then you see your vomit and you want to vomit again? The Wii U was a failure. It's pretty plain and simple. Whether it was a bad console or it was just poorly advertised, I guess it's up to opinion. But when you legitimately sell a tenth of what the previous gen console did, you know there's an issue. The big gimmick of the Wii U was the inclusion of the Fisher Price, excuse me, the Wii U gamepad. The design always seems super cheap to me. The plastic's always sort of smearing with fingerprints and collects dust super easily. And overall, the design just kind of looks like a kid's toy. Wait a minute. Regardless of any of that, the concept did have some potential. There were things Nintendo could do with the gamepad touchscreen that couldn't be done on other consoles, like Mario Chase and Nintendo Land. A problem a lot of games on the console had was that they didn't utilize the gamepad optimally, if at all. Minecraft is a prime example. Think about what would be super cool to have there, some sort of like crafting menu or expanded inventory or something. No! How about a mirror image of the gameplay already visible on the television? Most third-party developers seem to completely skip out on the concept of the Wii U gamepad. As if they ported their games at all, they were just that, graphically inferior ports of games already existing on other consoles. We always knew there were more capabilities with the gamepad, however. Some first-party games had touched on it. Nintendo Land, for example, which had the sole purpose of showing what the gamepad could do, did a pretty alright job at utilizing it for some games. But then you have games like New Super Mario Bros. U, the launch title for the console, and what purpose does the gamepad serve? You can place blocks. But then in September of 2015, the greatest idea for a Wii U gamepad ever hit store shelves in the original Mario Maker. This concept worked perfectly for the console, using the stylus to edit and create courses on the gamepad touchscreen, while others could watch and play along with you on the television. The game was made for the Wii U and was arguably the best use of the gamepad. With most games, you felt like you weren't gaining much playing it on the Wii U. You may gain an extra menu, the ability to help, and notice how help is in quotation marks, fellow players in certain games, but I don't think up until Mario Maker, there was a game you felt like couldn't be played on a different console. Dang it! The original Mario Maker was a great game, and there's no discounting that. It was a tool to create Mario levels, and who hadn't dreamed of that? You can make stages, share them online, play a legitimately endless supply of courses of levels in the course world, but there were limitations. To start, this game had no slopes. I said I like this game? Sure, this might not seem like the biggest issue, but having slopes adds a lot to the gameplay, and even to the aesthetics of the level design. Another feature missing was the ability to be able to build levels with water in them that weren't underwater. Building vertical levels, there was a limited number of power-ups in the game, and there were only a number of enemies and bosses to choose from. And the content updates for the game ended pretty quickly. They added things like keys and a couple other new things, but nothing really game-changing. And when these updates stopped, that was it. That was Mario Maker. A really fun game, but at its core, a really limited level creation tool. There were conversations on whether it was even worth continuing to play Mario Maker into the Switch's life cycle, or if emulation and computer level editors were the way of the future. The Mario World community, and even some of the new Super Mario Bros. Communities, had made strides to come up with really fleshed out level creation systems, and even world map editors, something that you really couldn't remotely replicate in Super Mario Maker. That was until February 13th of 2019. What? Mario Maker 2. It was finally here. There were a ton of new things in this trailer. Slopes, water levels, new bosses, new themes, new enemies, new power-ups, all on off switches, 3D world. Well, he's dead. This announcement was everything for the community. To see everyone rallying around one game again, it was awesome. For so long we've been in that limbo of whether we keep playing or switch to a new platform. Now we not only had new life, but an entirely new tool to start using, just 4 months after the game was revealed. We didn't get more until a special Mario Maker Nintendo Direct, which unveiled story mode, online multiplayer, reaffirmed some of the things we'd already observed from the previous trailer, and got the entire community ready for launch day. Never been happier to be a virgin. Mario Maker 2 was finally here. First thing I did was hop into Course World and play some of the first stages ever made before going to create the masterpiece that would later be named Moist Potato. Most of day one was spent grinding out my own level, but this game offered so much content it was absurd. An entire story mode containing over 100 Nintendo-made stages. I actually completed this in the first week. I thought it was super cool seeing how creative Nintendo could be, given the same toolset as us. That son of a... Not interested in story mode? Fine, take the infinite supply of user-uploaded course available to be played in Course World. Want to play on higher stakes? Fine, play in randomly generated endless mode runs, seeing how far you can get compared to friends. One huge complaint I recall was that people wanted the 100-man challenge from Mario Maker 1 to accompany the new mode. Basically, 100-man had a set amount of stages and gave you 100 lives to complete them. The new mode gives you 30 and allows you to continue as long as you can. Personally, I don't like comparing them, and I'm kinda confused why they both aren't here. The main argument for 100-man was that it was more motivating to attempt, and I can definitely see that argument, but it's such a small thing, I don't hate this mode. Alright, online multiplayer, this is gonna be fantastic. I'm going back to the Wii U. The online in this game struggles, but that's true for a ton of Nintendo titles. They don't specialize in online software, so I guess it makes sense that this is a terrible experience. Instead of having servers designed for this game, they instead use a peer-to-peer connection, meaning if one person has bad internet, everyone has bad internet. Some matches legit get to a point of being unplayable, and while it has gotten significantly better since launch, this was definitely one of the more disappointing aspects of the game. Leaderboards are here, so I guess that's cool, although I feel like it's been the same people at the top of this list forever. Now with all of that out of the way, let's chat about the level creator. In the Wii U version, or even the 3DS version, as I mentioned earlier, you'd build on the touchscreen with a stylus or something, and you'd be able to see the creation on the television. The problem with the Switch is that if you're using it in handheld, you can't project it on the TV. So Nintendo had to come up with a way to create levels on the TV, meaning a controller method. I mean, they kinda did it. This method takes some time to get used to, but honestly, it's not as bad as some people make it out to be. Sure, the handheld mode is the premium way to do it, but as an alternative and to be able to do this on a big screen, it's not that bad. In terms of interface, on the top, all you have is your recently selected items taken from these wheel things, which are grouped into 4 different sections. Now, this was another thing that sort of helped controller players out. As in, the original, you just sort of tap the screen, tap what item you want to use. Now, you move the direction of the joystick towards whatever item you want, and I mean, it's pretty cool. You have your typical edit functions like delete, multi-grab, copy and paste, and it's also simple to use, which is really why over 2 years later, people haven't gone back to favoring ROM hacks. Not to mention its now portable nature. You can build and upload your own Mario levels anywhere, just for the $60 price tag of the game. Dang it! Nintendo Switch Online, which is another additional $20, is required for the online features. Sure, this makes sense, but with how fishy the online is, considering they don't actually have servers for the online mode, it's honestly a question mark to buy for some people. You get NES and SNES games as well, and with a new pack recently revealed, you can get N64 and Sega Genesis games. So to me, it's kind of a no-brainer, but it's something to think about for some people. Moving into updates, we got 2 major updates for this game, featuring new enemies such as Pokies, Spike, new power-ups such as the hats in 3D World, the Acorn suit, and more, but there were 2 really main attractions to these updates. The first one was the Link suit, which allowed you to create Zelda dungeons in Mario Maker. There's so much you can do here: shoot arrows, place bombs, swipe with your sword. It's really amazing the amount of creativity that can go into utilizing this power-up. The only downside is it's only available in Super Mario Bros. 1, but it adds so much just to that game mode. Wow, it's cool.
Mario will be talking a lot in the movie.
He's
Please
so
look forward
cool.
to Mario as performed by the very talented
He's so
Chris
cool.
Next,
And the second major thing added was Super Worlds. This was something I'd wanted since the first game was revealed. A way not only to make Mario levels, but a way to make Mario games. This added so much into the level sequencing, building mechanics, level progression, that sort of stuff. Not to mention, it coincided with the addition of 7 new bosses in the Koopa Links to put in these final stages. It was one hell of an addition to the game. And that is pretty much Mario Maker 2, a game full of infinite possibilities. There were so many different creative things to do in the level editor. Seeing what other people can do with such a simple tool is insane to me. Some of the cool Kaizo tricks, the cool level designs, the cool, I don't know, the uses of the power-ups, it's crazy. And while the online isn't perfect, Endless Mode could be better, and the game itself is aging with the lack of future updates, I will always love this game. It's my favorite game of all time. I've put so many hours into it, and it's sad to see its community start to decline. But all good things do end eventually, and this game is still here, and it's only 2 years old. Let's enjoy it for what it is, and cherish all the memories we make along the way. Alright, just finished working on this course. Man, this took hours. I can't wait to upload it online. It's here somewhere. It's Mario. You can. Okay, hold on. Let me just look this up. What the?